Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? I'm out here getting ready to go to an awesome place to get coffee. Well, it's a good place to get coffee. At least the store is awesome. And the coffee's not bad, too. I'm going to Chick-fil-A. Have you ever been to a restaurant or a fast food place and you're just thinking, man, I should have gone to Chick-fil-A? That's how I feel most of the time. Since I've been door dashing, I've been to a lot of different restaurants, and they just don't compare. The service and friendliness are so high. The standard's so high. A lot of you guys that own fast food chains or restaurants, you want to know why you're suffering and your numbers are down? I hate to say it, it's because you're not like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A service is just so high. You go to these other restaurants and sometimes you feel like they don't even want you there. That's one of the biggest things. Here's my coffee. Great service as always. The people here are just super nice. Anyways, that got me thinking. You go to a lot of these places and they just don't care. They have bad attitudes. And I also started thinking about ministries as well. You as a minister, when you go out, what are you representing? I used to work at a copy center place, and these Christians would come in, and I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I was kind of hesitating because I don't want to give Christians a bad name or speak ill about Christians, but Christians are human too. And some of you ministers and you guys that work for the church need to hear this. Anyways, a lot of times they'd come in and we'd have them make their copies and all this stuff. And a lot of times they'd be rude. And I was thinking, people see that you're Christians because you're printing out all this Christian literature and you're not being kind or nice. Even when some of these people make mistakes or they don't make your copies right, you need to be more gracious. I had this one guy come in and he was super rude. And then, you know what he was printing out, guys? Those of you that are watching that are Christians, he's printing out the chapter on 1 Corinthians talking about love. And I'm thinking, wow, how hypocritical, how nasty can you be when you're printing out gospel scriptures that talk about love and you're not being loving? And that's why sometimes people just can't stand Christians, and sometimes I don't blame them. So you guys as ministers, yeah, I know we're not perfect, but you guys need to be gentle, be loving, have those principles like Chick-fil-A actually, because I would say almost 95% of the time, 99% of the time that I go to Chick-fil-A, they are super friendly. They leave the attitude at home. And when you do find those rude people that are in Chick-fil-A, they don't last very long. But you go to these other restaurants like McDonald's or whatever, and they have so much attitude. So guys that own a restaurant, be more like Chick-fil-A. Your business will be successful. There's certain biblical principles that if you follow, blessing does come. And I'm not talking about name it, claim it crap. But what I'm talking about is following simple biblical principles. And those of you that are in ministry as well need to follow these biblical principles. You're ministers, for crying out loud. So, ministers, man, some of you guys need to repent, ask God to forgive you. You might need to go back to some stores and ask them to forgive you for having bad attitudes, especially if you're going to get your flyers printed out. And those that are working for you, you got to make sure that they have positive attitudes too, because if they're going to copy stores and they're printing out your church flyers, they'll know where not to go. And I was just talking to one of the guys at the Chick-fil-A that I go to, and he was saying, you can have a person come in, they have a good experience, and they're going to tell 5 people about that experience, right? And then if they have a bad experience, they're going to tell everyone. And so recently I went to a really fancy restaurant and their attitude was totally bad. So I'm telling everyone now. And I won't say what restaurant it was, but it was a fancy restaurant. One of these really hoity-toity, things cost $30, $40 restaurant, or even more. I mean, $30 is a cheap meal. and there, and Chick-fil-A, where it's a good restaurant because they have good values. So I hope that helps you guys. Stay positive. Don't be a jerk, especially if you're a minister or a Christian. I know you're human, but stay positive. Peace.